Hey guys, Aaron McKenzie here from Origin of Energy. In this video, I'm going to go through some simple workout options that you can use with minimal to no equipment, so that way you can keep your body moving and stay healthy through this pandemic. All of us are going through a massive challenge to adapt to the current situation, and as with all challenges, there's always opportunities within it. And for me, the biggest opportunity I see for everyone is to improve their health. Now, we have more time if we're stuck at home to work on things, and we have a chance to slow down and reassess everything that we're doing and do it in a better way. So for me, it's just my daily practice of what I do, trying to get good sleep every night, trying to improve that, getting 2 beautiful home-cooked meals, sitting down with my family, enjoying that. I've been making bone broth every week. I always do it anyway, but it's just going to that next level to make sure that I'm having it twice a day and having a nice big cup of it and looking after my digestive system and making sure that I really relax and enjoy everything that I'm doing. Training, I'm not training too hard, really taking it easy on my body and just focusing on technique and really looking after myself. And for everyone, I'm just advising people not to push themselves too hard. Even though it is a good stress relief to train really hard, it does impact the body and make your immune system slightly suppressed. So I'm just going through nice workouts, nice smooth movements, breathing through the nose, so I filter the air, humidify the air, prepare that air for my lungs. And also breathing in and out through the nose is a great way to stop the spread of this thing, because if you're breathing out through the mouth, it's easier to projectile it. So it's so important to get that down, and while you're exercising, a great way to improve that and focus on it. Just having that time with family like never before is just awesome. And if you can't connect with people face to face, then connecting with them virtually and taking the time to really listen and using this as an opportunity to get closer to the people that you love and care about and get to know them on a deeper level. I think it's just so cool. The other thing that's really awesome is that we have a chance to develop ourselves, so develop our mind, develop our level of education. If you have a career change that you're looking at doing, now's the time to just immerse yourself and learn new skills and use all the online learning platforms that we have available to us to further ourselves. Obviously, going out or going to gyms and going to crowded places is not ideal. Even here, I've cut my gym down to a limit of 6 people in it. I'm still having people come here, but there's heaps of space. So everyone literally has 20 square meters each to train in. So I'm keeping that risk level very, very low. And then also I'm doing some outdoor sessions and then doing some online stuff, which is great. It's just helping me, helping my business and forcing me to adapt and to find a way to reach people so they can all get healthy. So here are some simple workout options that you can use. Now the first one is just using a towel. So if you've got a towel and you just need a tea towel. So you use the tea towel, tie a knot in both ends, put this over the door, then thread the towel through. Now this is great for doing pull-ups at home and doing pulling exercises. You can do single arm as well, which is awesome. So you can use this to get a nice traction stretch at the bottom of the pull-up, traction out the shoulders, and then use this to pull up and really work that back and squeeze those shoulder blades down and back. It works so well, and you can make it hard enough to get some decent resistance. Obviously, if you've got something you can do full body weight pull-ups, that's better, but for some of us, this is the only option, and it's a great option. It can still condition the back and get all those muscles working. Then for push-ups, it's easy to progress those. You can go from doing just a bench style push-up to kneeling push-ups to doing eccentric on the toes and kneeling as you push up. Then you can go on the toes, then you can go into a planche style push-up, then into an overhead push-up. And these are a great way to progress yourself. And if you're changing reps, so if you want to do less reps but get more loading, then you choose a harder version. If you want to do higher reps, you choose an easier version. So you can always progress and make exercises harder and easier, which is really cool. Then for lunges, there's great progressions with that. So if your knees are a bit off or you're not that strong in a lunge, you can do the step back lunge with the hands on the knees. Then you can progress to just a split squat. Then you can progress into a step back lunge, step forward lunge, then you can go into walking lunges. So lunges are awesome for conditioning the quads, work so well. And I find those 3 exercises as a circuit very effective. Getting 3 to 5 sets of that works awesome, conditions the whole body. And you might find that you can do that one day and then you need to rest for 48 hours and then you can do a different workout. Or if you're really healthy and strong and you just want more stimulus, you might want to do the next workout combined with it. So you do one and then go straight into the next workout on the same day. So here I'm using the towel to do a horizontal pull and using my legs as resistance. So I'm pushing my legs out and then lowering them back in as I pull with my back. And this works great for stimulating all the muscles through the back and through the legs. So it's not as ideal as having a cable machine to do this or doing bent over rows, but if you don't have any weights or anything that you can use, this is a great option. Very simple. Then just doing bench dips or doing chair dips between 2 chairs. I like it so you can go a bit deeper and you can get a better line, and then pushing right up. It's easy to make it harder and easier. You can have the legs bent. Then you can go into some straight leg versions and then into full body weight, which is awesome. It conditions the chest, shoulders, arms, everything. So you can really work on getting that development, and now you've got time, you can work on it. Then we've got some extra leg work, either doing some single leg deadlifts or single leg squats and progressing those as harder versions, and even the double leg versions with just body weight. If you slow them right down and pause at the bottom, you get a nice stretch and you can strengthen the body quite effectively. By all means, if you've got weights at home, use them. But if you don't, and this is just a simple way to get some good stimulus, some good loading through the legs, get some great adaptation, and make your body healthier and stronger. Now, if you have a band, these are a great tool. So here I'm doing it outside. We got outside, myself and my wife and my son and the dogs, and we got some fresh air. And then we just strapped the band around these benches. Worked awesome, did some lunge pulls. These are great for stimulating that cross bracing system through the back. So you've got the opposite lat and glute. Great for the body, great for the legs. And these combined with push-ups work great. So you can see here, my wife's doing the push-up on the top of the bench so she can get some more reps. It makes it easier, and then you can make it harder just doing it on the ground or even raising your feet up on the bench as well, which is really cool. The next workout here, doing a band pull-up. So you're hinging forward through the hips so you can get that overhead pull position and stepping back enough to get some resistance. Ideally, you've got good hip mobility so you can get a nice hip hinge. But even if you can't, it doesn't matter. You're still going to get some good overhead conditioning. And then pulling the shoulder blades right down and back as you pull, and then stretching out overhead. Great movement to develop that pull-up pattern, even though you don't have somebody to do pull-ups on, or you don't have an assisted pull-up machine, or you're not strong enough to do a pull-up. This works great for all those muscles. Then doing an overhead press with the band. Now you can make it harder by having more resistance, so I'm standing on the band, or you can sit on the band to make it lighter. Now it just depends on what bands you have, obviously how tight they are, but these are very cheap. Obviously if you're ordering any equipment online, just be careful to sanitize it once it arrives. But these are very cheap, inexpensive, don't take up much space. So if you are going for a nice walk in nature and then doing a workout outside, it's a great option, easy to take with you. The last workout here, just strapping it around the bench and then doing a squat pull and combining that with a dip. And this is a great combination. So you could do all 3 workouts in a row, or you could just do one and then the next day do another one. It's really up to you and just how you feel and what your body needs. But the main thing is that we're trying to build health, especially now more than ever. I'm trying to get everyone not to focus on performance or quick gains, but just focusing on nurturing their body and healing their body with movement. These last workouts are using a dumbbell, so you may have a sandbag, you might have a kettlebell, or you might just have something heavy that you can use. This first one is just doing a bent over row. This one's great for conditioning the back, but also getting that thoracic mobility and getting a nice smooth pattern where you're integrating all those muscles and strengthening and stabilizing the lower back, mobilizing the hips, and then using the arms. Combining this with the push-up is very effective, so you get a horizontal pull, horizontal push, And then using a lunge pattern with this I find is great, because the lunge is working the legs, all the muscles through the legs, and just using that space outside, getting some walking lunges, awesome. You might even do a sprint if you've got the space, and it's just great and you feel like adding that in there, it's quite cool. Then the next workout, very simple, just doing a deadlift with the weight and then a bench dip. So these are both very simple, very effective, and these are one of my favorite couplets. Just heavy deadlifts and dips work great together, very simple, and you can get the whole body going and get a good result in minimal time. It's very efficient. So you might do these two workouts back to back or do them on separate days. But all these movements, I like to use 3 to 12 reps with them, depending on the intensity of the movement and the version. And you can slow the movements down to do less reps, get more time under tension. You can find a heavier version or increase the resistance, or do the harder version to make it harder. And then I like using 3 to 5 sets to get a good stimulus. And rest periods, it just depends on what you're trying to achieve. So longer rest periods if you're going harder, shorter rest periods if you want to get a more extensive endurance response from the workout. For core, I like using bridges. So a front back bridge, then a side bridge on the second day is very effective. You might start out the front back bridge with an easier version, just doing it on the knees when you're face down, starting at 30 seconds, building that up over time to 40 seconds, 45, a minute. And then the same on the back, you can gradually straighten your legs out, go to single leg to make it heavier. Then you might go to a much harder version and then start again at 30 seconds. So have the knees off the ground or walk the hands out a bit further. There's always a way to make it harder, but the goal is to end up with the hardest version and be able to go for 6 minutes straight, going minute front, minute back, 3 sets in a row. And the same deal on the side, start out with an easier version, start with 30 seconds, build up to a minute each side, then go to the harder version, start at 30 seconds again, build up to a minute each side. Just make sure you keep good spinal alignment with all of these to condition those deep postural fibers, and this will really help your spinal health as well as your shoulder health, your hip health, and just align your body. Just use your phone or use the mirror to make sure you've got good form, that you're not dropping your head and you're not compensating anywhere, and just take your time. I like doing front back bridges one day and then side bridges the next day for people, and then having a day off and then hitting it again. You can do either or every day. I wouldn't do them both in one day, it's overkill, it's not needed. And there's always more options once you exhaust these, but these are so simple and very practical. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you've got any suggestions or ideas for videos, let me know. If you've got any questions, I'm keen to answer, keen to help. And I see this as a massive opportunity for all of us to come together and to create a better world. It's quite challenging just thinking about what's happening around the world and how many people are suffering because of this situation, and the long-term effects are just going to be disastrous. But it's up to us to minimize the spread of this pandemic and to flatten the curve, because it's going to help all those people that are less healthy and are going to need medical care but may not be able to get it because the hospitals are just overwhelmed. So we have to do our part to minimize the spread, and just improving our own health as much as possible is so important to make us more resistant, and also allow for us to be of service, to be in a good state so that we can think clearly and we can offer more support for everyone around us. We all need to stay calm and just not get caught up in the chaos and not panic, which is going to be difficult. So the more we come together, support one another, and stay positive, and just keep sharing that positivity with each and every one of us, and all the people that we love and care about around us, the better. So stay strong, and I'll see you soon.